What's going on, everybody? This is the Control Chaos Show. I am Cash Walking, here with Jamel the Man Farmer.
What up, what up?
We are back once again.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, we are on the Zoom. We're still doing the Zoom thing. Still waiting for the studios to get back open and everything. But for now, this is how we're going to come to you live.
Yes,
What's going on, Jamel? What's popping with you, bro?
Not much, man. What about you?
You know, same old, just on the grind, trying to make things happen. First and foremost, happy birthday to your young daughter today.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, happy birthday to my baby girl, man. I love her to death. Happy birthday,
two girls. God gave you. You can say it's a blessing, or it could be a curse. It still remains to be seen. It remains to be seen.
It is.
Because they might be giving you some headaches. Two pretty girls for you. God just said, let's see how he handles this.
Yeah.
Let's see what Jamel does when a young Jamel comes walking to his house to take his daughter out.
It ain't happening.
Are we gonna have to do the bad boy scene again?
You're gonna have to. Reggie,
come over.
who that had the dough? It's Reggie.
What the fuck are you looking 30? That's crazy, man. Oh, man. So yeah, we're back again, y'all. Thank you everybody for tuning in once again. I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into it and then express myself. Today, we're talking about the day that we were recording this. I don't know when you all are gonna listen to it, but I do know that whatever day that is, it will be a day closer to one of the biggest elections that takes place in the history of the United States. I want to express myself about the importance of voting. Today we sit 21 days, 3 weeks approximately out from the day that I hope and pray that all of you people out there who are listening to this show or may listen to this show or might hear from somebody that maybe, wants to know about this show. I hope that y'all are at the polls voting with me too. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to say it on the show and I'm going to say it every show that we do it leading up until election. You can hit me in my DM at Cash Walking, and I am not bullshitting. I'm a free Uber that day. I will bring you to your polls if you need a ride. I will watch your kids if you need somebody to watch your kid while you go vote. We don't need no excuses, y'all. This is so important. This is so important. And I'm not just talking this time. I'm not talking this time about just the presidential election. Like Jamel, we've been doing this show for 4 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So we've been doing this show for 4 years, and you know what I mean. Since it's kind of been scaled, like that time frame has been the Trump presidency. So it's in one side, it's given us a lot to talk about every time we come on here. But on the other side, I'm looking at it like this isn't just about that this time. This is about, we're dealing with more in 2020 than we were in 2016, in my opinion, with the racial unrest. The police brutality is even worse now than it was before. And all these neighborhoods are going through what they're going through all over the country. One thing that COVID did is it made us all realize, or at least it should, if you're a thinking person, that we are all more alike than we have ever been. We all struggling. We're all going through it. We all are bored. We're all dealing with all this stuff. And I'll touch on a lot of that later when we get to Stay Woke, that aspect of it, the mental aspect of it. But I want to talk about this voting real quick, because we're not just voting for the Trumps. We're voting for the entire administration.
This is big. This is big.
We're voting for everything top down.
This is where we talked about, or I told you, I didn't vote for.
Even locally, my bad. I'm talking even locally, like state reps and stuff like that. Like, if it's fucked up, real quick, just let me finish this thought, because I've been thinking about this all day, and I just want to get this off. Like, if your neighborhood is fucked up, or you feel like your vote doesn't count, or something like that, because, the same person always wins. You know why that same person always wins? You know why that congresswoman or congressman in your neighborhood has been there for 30 years? Because you don't vote. We could vote anybody in there. Say you don't, and then people always bring up how they don't like the candidates or whatever. If you don't like the candidates, then prop somebody else up. Find somebody else. Encourage somebody in your neighborhood who you got respect for. And to say, what do you think? We'll help you raise the money. We'll walk around knocking door to door. Do what we got to do to prop somebody up to make this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way your vote doesn't count is if you don't vote. That's just really, and like I said, again, it's about more than just the presidency. And they do plenty to make sure that you don't vote. So make sure you do. And that's what I'm going to leave it at.
No, I mean, I completely agree. You know, we had, you know, we're on opposing sides when we talked about, you know, voting for the president last time, you know.
Right.
I told you I didn't vote, you know, and I firmly believe that our ancestors fought for us to have the right, the choice to vote. Right. So just because we have the right, the choice to vote doesn't mean we have to vote. We're not robots. We have the choice. So if I don't want to vote, I don't want to vote. But I did vote for somebody. It just wasn't those two candidates.
Right.
But I do think, you know, this is where it's really important. And this is where, and I'm actually I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I think we have to break down the local officials, their job and their duties. You know, right. I don't think that people understand, if you elect a state representative for your state, what they bring when they go to DC.
Are they representing you?
Yes. You know,
I know now through what we've been doing and stuff like that, like numerous now state representatives, just from the activism that I started up with Community for Change earlier this summer. Shout out to Julie Kushner. Shout out to Ken Gucker. Shout out to David Arconti, who we went to school with. And, you know, it was a good friend of mine. I played baseball with him. We played basketball together, all that stuff.
That's some other thoughts, but go ahead.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm saying. Yo, if you got something to say to him, you could say it.
Yeah.
Like there's way, these people are reachable, yo. Like I had Dave's number back in the day. I reached out to 2 people and got his cell phone number, and when I hit him up, he immediately hit me back. Like,
was he listening though? Because a lot of politicians they may but they won't listen to you, or they're not going to have any plan or action.
So you want to know what he did? And let's not say I don't want to say it, and I don't want to accuse him of anything like that.
No, because there's some things that I know he's done good in the community. There are some things I know.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff in good faith, but I'm sure on the back of all their heads, they're thinking about the political aspect to this and how but this could be good, but it could also be bad. Getting behind an activist movement and stuff like that, and giving support to these things they took a risk. And to answer your question, yeah, he was listening, because not only did he answer my text right away, but he arranged a Zoom meeting with us, got in there, and then this is right before they went and voted for that police accountability bill. He took notes from us. A lot of those things that we talked about with him in that meeting, he brought up there and ended up in the bill. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's possible to reach these people.
Yeah, but that's where I think, like you said, man, if you don't agree with the candidates, then you uplift somebody else to get in those positions. And I think we got to do that. And the long-term goal for me is kids that we, keep, kids that we try to, understand, listen, you could be, in government, you could be a politician, whatever it is, but keep them honorable. Because I do know from what I hear from a lot of other politicians, once you become a politician, you start thinking like a politician, and you kind of forget about honor and code.
You forget why you got into it.
You wash one hands because they wash your hands. And that's where we got to really do our due diligence as adults and as educators to really instill good faith, moral ethic, and honor and the youth. So long term, if they do get, state representative or senator, whatever, they know what it is. But I think, back to what I was saying,
I absolutely agree with that, by the way, too.
Yeah.
And like, yo, what do you think it is, real quick? Just the idea. And you could even think like it could be even a quick answer. Like, what do we think about pressuring the guys in there, like the legislators in there, for like term limits? Like I've been saying, yo, and I heard the craziest thing. It was this dude who was interviewing. He's a state representative out of St. Louis, and he interviewed with that rapper, My Son, who's always talking. Yo, and it was a really good interview. And he talked.
It was in Missouri. Was it in Missouri?
Yeah. He's a state rep. He came up straight from an activist from the streets, had never voted.
Tattoos on the face and all that.
Tattoos on his face. He voted in 2016 for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's a state rep. Like the first time he voted
3 years.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So he said something that really resonated with me. How his grandmother used to say, like, Black people have done everything. Like, it's like a house. The politics are like a house.
Yeah,
like,
I think he got that from My Son. My Son. Yeah.
Changed the siding. We've changed all this stuff. We've done everything, but the only thing we haven't done to the house is knock that whole shit down and rebuild it again in our likeness. And I keep talking about this, and like, I'm not in favor of like the whole abolish the police thing like that, but I'm in favor of abolishing that system and say like and rewriting everything. I want to let these ideas come out of my head. Whoever's listening, y'all can think I'm crazy if you want to. I'm saying, yo, the Constitution is a document that was written over 250 years ago over candlelight. We shouldn't even be about it. We need to rewrite the Constitution or make really, really serious edits. The Bill of Rights, like all these amendments and stuff like that. Like the 13th Amendment still has legalized slavery in it, and we're in 2020. So like, why
So
are we
it's
still
talking
abiding
about
by these
slaves.
documents? Yeah, we're still operating and living by these documents.
We
And
should know that. We should know that being enslaved isn't. That's just not right. That should
it's
be.
not right
Yeah.
morally.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, like at this point, and no form. I don't care if they're a prisoner of the state or whatever. We shouldn't have. You're calling yourself the land of the free, like you're pretending to be something else. That makes us inherently a lie.
Yeah.
So I just don't think how do these people sleep at night?
Yeah. But that's
break it all down and rebuild it. That's the way that this needs to happen.
And to go back to what I was saying before about just breaking down what people mean, in the position. So you got like your districts. Everybody has somebody representing their district.
Right.
The district, they get up with the mayor and they have their thing, and then they go to the state senate. I mean the state representative.
Yep.
Then you got the senators. You got the house. Like there's so many different things at the local level, and that's why I think it's
machine.
important. That's why it's very important, because the local elections that's who's going to represent you to the higher up people. So I think that's where people really have to educate themselves on who they're voting for, and if they want somebody else to go. And like you said, if you don't like any of the candidates, boost somebody up to get the right person in there and campaign with them and go hard for them and boast for them.
It's not gonna be easy. It's like, people think that like, I'm just gonna vote this person in, like the same way like how people thought with Obama, and why they say like the ignorant black people to me say, Obama didn't do shit for black people. I don't want Obama to do shit for black people. I want Obama to do shit for America, and I want people to stop treating me like a black person, treat me like an American, like the American that I am. Like why? That's the one race that we all are, right? That's what everybody's saying, right? So when is it gonna just be that? I don't need a candidate to go up and specifically direct to me. I don't need that. Like if you're doing right, if everybody's on the right and the same page and you're doing right by Americans, then inherently me as an American, I should be able to benefit from all
reap the benefits of
of just the American. But I'm not. And we're not. And in certain systems that are just so old and antiquated at this point, to be quite frank, these things are just we have to reimagine what this place is, what it's gonna be like. Dude, I'm my birthday's on Saturday, bro. I'll be 34. You know what I mean? You are 34. Like I'm sitting here, you have children. I'm sitting here scared to death to think about a family right now. I'm bringing a little black boy or girl into this world. You know what I'm saying? That shit scares me. My little black daughter could be Breonna Taylor. My little black son could end up being George Floyd. Like all this shit, man. That shit is terrifying. We need to get the people, and it has to be extreme change. People don't like these things. That's why I was so with Bernie Sanders, because everything he was saying. That's why I love AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I love her because her ideas are extreme. It sounds extreme.
I definitely believe. I was talking with somebody. It's actually, I had this conversation with somebody a couple of times. Exactly what you said. Our society, and as a matter of fact, I just had this conversation, I think, with Matt Sear on Facebook like a week ago, where I was like, our society is hindered because we're just so greedy and stuff. We really need to restart a whole society. We just have to restart the whole thing.
Everything.
That's the only way it's going to, piece by piece. Literally have to redo everything.
Yeah, we have to have a new moral code. Or at least fucking redo or, retell it to people so that they understand what it is, because I feel like morality is literally dead. We're this right now is the most shameful and most like, I don't give a fuck that I've ever seen America. From entertainment wise to politically to anybody to socially and social medias, people aren't afraid to say anything to each other or do anything to each other anymore. And it's just like there's no more just natural human compassion for a human being. Like
COVID doesn't help it out neither, man.
To think that people could see you know, those things like George Floyd, and we know people. We've seen the whole thing spill out and play out in our neighborhood, right? On
Mm-hmm.
social media. To think that people could see these things and not as a human, to just see another person literally having the life taken from them from another person, then you can see that and find ways to blame them for dying.
Yeah.
Is just, it's remarkable to me.
Yeah.
It would be like back in the 90s, Rodney King's getting his ass whooped and they blaming him, saying he should have moved out the way of the nightsticks.
Yeah.
You know, this shit is crazy to me.
Yeah,
You know,
it's crazy.
so
Man.
that's what I'm saying about that. Yo, go
That's
out
the
there and
importance
vote.
of voting, especially this. Listen, the local. Listen, people.
Local. You could honestly skip the presidents if you don't want to vote for.
Just pick a different president, but the locals.
Yeah.
That's very.
Write
Please,
in Kanye if you have to, but the local stuff, yes.
Right now, educate yourself on who your local officials are.
Your state reps, your state senators, your senators, your all of that shit.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's the Democrat or Republican. I don't care. Yo, just go and vote. People died for this shit.
Yeah.
People do their listen. I'm telling y'all in a way
And
that I gotta tell y'all.
I think one of our biggest problems.
No excuses.
I think one of the biggest issues, challenges, especially I think our community, is, you know, well, not just our community, everybody. When you pick someone, people gotta understand. You have one representative for whatever position it is, whether it's
your whole
district. There might be 10 different districts for the city. Guess what? That one person is not going to be able to satisfy hundreds, thousands, million of people. It's just not going to happen.
Can't happen. Yeah, it depends on the size of your town.
So don't try to pick someone that you're not going to have every single idea the same as that person you're picking. Yeah. I think that sometimes we get frustrated.
But you just need that one person.
This person didn't do this. This person didn't do that. Well, but they did this and they did that.
Facts.
You know, and you have to really.
This one person's not gonna save all of us.
What are you willing to let? What's more important to you is how you should vote. You know, on the person.
This one person is gonna decide how much money the state sends to your city. And how much the state sends to your school's education system is in your city, how much your budget is for your public services. So you mad that when it snows, the plows aren't immediately out there? That's why. You mad that that your daughter is their daughter's school is in the bottom tier of the state's education system. Why? Because your state representative is taking that money and he's putting it to something that probably has nothing to do with you or your neighborhood or anything like that. And you ain't saying shit about it because you don't vote.
Yeah. So
that's the importance of it. You could do your part. You can make a change if you go and vote. And that's just a straight way I'm putting it. That's express yourself. That is express yourself.
Express yourself.
Yes. And now we're going to the cornball of the week. Who is the cornball of the month? Who is the cornball of the year? This motherfucker. He got me thrown. I went at him so hard, he got me thrown off Twitter for 24 hours.
Really?
The Kentucky age.
No way. No. We're going to get into that. Go ahead.
I went so hard on him, Jamel. He's a fucking cornball.
Hold on. How did little old you get banned? Who reported you?
I don't know.
One of the supporters.
Because I called him, what I'm going to call him out loud now. I digitally called him. He's a coon ass bitch. That's what he is. He's a coon.
Wow.
And all he does is dance for Mitch McConnell and all the other people who perched him up to be their black slave and do whatever they can to keep their cops from going to jail. How do you tell me when a man fires shots through a freaking glass window with the curtains closed from outside the apartment and then kills this girl, or they're recklessly shooting into a house, an apartment, when they can't even see who's in there? What if she was holding a baby? All y'all kids whose child lives matter. What happened with that? What if there was another kid in the house? Her sister stays there. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Her sister stays there with their young daughter sometimes. Thank God wasn't there that night.
What if she was nannying? What if she was nannying for the state representative?
Anything. Daniel Cameron didn't see it fit for Breonna Taylor's killers to have to do any prison time or even go through a fucking trial.
We posted it on our thing that they already I just had the word in my head, but basically appointed the National Guard before they even made the ruling.
Yeah, because they knew.
But that's against the law. Like You know what the outcome is before it even goes to court?
Exactly. Like, hey, have some guys here because I think tomorrow I'm gonna make it. It's like, dude, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? And that's what I'm saying. It's just reckless, yo. And like, how is this, Jamel? This is why he's a cornball. How does this family get paid millions of dollars in a wrongful death, right? And then
They charge for.
they charge her boyfriend. Yeah, they charge her boyfriend.
Hold on, they charged the bullets in the other house, but not in her house.
But not in her house or her body that killed her.
That makes sense.
He says the shooting was justified because apparently they announced themselves, but there's obviously, of course, no body cams. There's never is. There's no nothing.
Those are never body cams. All these body cams.
All the body cams were on
and they never show. Yo, but the body cams never show when people are in the acts. Well, most of the time. Most of the ones that are the ones that are viral, they never show when the actual acts that happen.
Dude, this dude is he's an Uncle Tom coon ass motherfucker. That's what he is, and a cornball also.
It's wrong, man.
Now I do say that I want to say this. Now in the last segment, I was saying like I don't want people to do for black people, but but when a black man, these are the things that we fight and we vote for to get our representation in these high courts, these high appointed positions, so that maybe. Like how white judges show a little bit of leniency to, the rapists and crazy school shooters and all that shit, how they show mercy to these guys. I was hoping that Daniel Cameron would show a little mercy to this woman and her family and say, you know what, look, we know it's a wrongful death. What does justice look like when this man doesn't even have to go to trial?
That's one reason why I said when we talked about touch yourself is raising our kids to be morally, ethically, and have honor. Because like I said, especially when you get into politics in certain areas, people sell out.
Yeah.
People sell out.
He sold out. Did you see his wedding picture or whatever his picture when they bought a house? It's him, his wife.
He's comfortable, I know that.
All her family, but you don't see none of his family. And I tell you everything you need to know. It's probably just his mom, maybe his dad, and maybe another sibling. There ain't no black people in that picture.
I don't know about all that, but I do think what he did is it was wrong, man. That was wrong. It was wrong, man.
He a sellout, and I love what what's her name said about him. What's her name? I forget what her name is. Tamika. She does a lot of work with Black Lives Matter. I forgive me. I forget her last name.
Mm-hmm.
But she said Daniel Cameron is no different than the sellout Negroes who sold us into slavery to the white men back 400, 500 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's no better than them. And that's exactly what it is. Because he knew this is wrong. I don't care what anybody says. He knew it was wrong the way that all carried out. Like, bro, we all want law and order, right? Everybody wants law and order. We all want to be safe, right? Fuck, we all want to be safe. We want law and order. But what is law and order if it doesn't lead to justice?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Law and order can't lead to injustice. That's a death of justice. That's a miscarriage of justice. You can't do that. You can't. And both things can't be true. You can't be like, oh, well, justice was served, for Breonna Taylor and for the officers involved and everything like that. And so was law and order because she shouldn't have ever dated a guy who once upon a time sold drugs and maybe had them drugs in her house, and then they botched the fucking the whole raid and everything. They were in the wrong part of town at the wrong apartment, doing all the wrong shit that they weren't supposed to do. And all these logistical errors led to this about a police department led to this woman dying, and all you had was a couple $1 million for her life.
And then they already have the person in custody?
Yes, because he was at another house on the other side of town. If you have Hulu, watch that News Times special that they did on the Breonna Taylor case, and then tell me that anything is wrong with that case. So Daniel Cameron, sir, fuck you first of all, because you got me kicked off Twitter on a really hot Twitter day. It was Game 5 of the playoff. But fuck you, I couldn't tweet about it, and you're a cornball, sir. Going on to what's popping. What's popping? Brand new whip just hopped in. I got options. I got to have that lifestyle. Okay. Excuse me. First of all, okay. So I want to let everybody know. So you saw my new notes layout here. I'm trying to tighten the show up a little bit and maybe control the chaos a little bit more. So yes, we're talking about mad different topics, but I'm trying to organize a little better. So first,
make sure we do. So we good. Everything's been great so far.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So First of all, what's popping? This is just some. I want to shout out to the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Chadwick Boseman. We haven't been on air since he passed away
Oh
from
man,
colon cancer. Man, that's crazy, dude.
it's
He
a tough one, man.
filmed like 17 movies over the last 4 years while dealing with colon cancer. Even the movie The Five Bloods, where it was with Spike Lee's
Yeah,
joint, where it was like his second to last movie that he
yeah.
filmed, and this guy literally was like
Emo, still looking jacked and
carrying 40 pounds of weight and stuff like that, like really doing the role and going all out with it, man. Like just an unbelievable actor.
yeah.
We're hearing a lot of great stories about him since his passing, man.
Yo,
So
the movies
shout
that
out
he
to him.
played, man, were so iconic, man.
Yeah, yo, he was
Like
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie
He was the
Robertson.
King of Wakanda. James Brown.
He played the Cleveland's running back. Is it
Oh
Davis?
yeah.
Yeah. One of the
In
first
the
running
draft.
backs. Yep, one of the first running backs in
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah, man, dude.
Go
It's
through
just
all that. Yo, he played so many different roles, man, that were iconic.
yeah, huge roles, man. He
Oh
was just
my
a really,
gosh.
really good actor. It's unfortunate because I know we would have got another Black Panther.
Yeah, man.
I think
Now it's
what do
like
you think? Do you think they got to recast it?
I think they said they're gonna have the sister be the new Black Panther.
Okay, and it's like
I
all
think,
right,
man. I just really wish they would did one more with him, man.
yeah, one more because like it would have been because I mean he was in the two Avengers, and
Yeah,
then
he made history with the Avengers, man.
yeah,
That was dope that he
for
was
real,
able to do that.
that
And
was
then he had
crazy.
his own history with Black Panther.
Yeah, it was
Um,
awesome. That's
yeah.
what was wild is that he was in the Avengers, and it was like Black Panther hadn't even come out yet.
No, yeah.
Like the Infinity War came out first,
Hmm.
and then Black Panther came out. So it was like people were seeing him for the first time in there. So yeah, man, it was real sad. As a lot of
Yeah.
y'all know, if you follow me on social media, I was Black Panther just last year for Halloween. I'm going back at it again this year. Not that there's going to be anything to do on Halloween, but I'm dressing up anyway, just to walk around the neighborhood in the Black Panther costume. So rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. You was a real one, my guy. You was a real one. Yo, did you
Tough
hear
one.
about you hear about this Tory Lanez
Yeah,
situation?
man.
Getting
Yeah.
charged with assault
Yeah.
for shooting Meg the Stallion. Yo,
Shot that
this
girl in
whole
that
thing has
foot, man.
spiraled out of control.
Shot
Um,
that girl in that foot.
he shot he shot her in her foot. I mean, listen, I'm getting all to protect black women, but did you see what she tweeted? She tweeted something today. And I guess some idiot fan was like, yo, Meg better not, because she launched a campaign today, like a protect black women campaign. Like it was like, oh, supporting black women and everything like that. Shout to Meg. And some dude commented on it, basically saying like, yo, like this is the dumbest thing. Like, or he was like, she better not be doing this for like a publicity stunt. Like, because now you want to do this because like, oh, Tory just got charged. Like something so ridiculous and so
Hmm.
stupid that if I was in front of this dude, I would have slapped him open hand in the face. Dumb. Yeah, just dumb. And
Yeah.
she said the same thing. She's like, this is the dumbest thing. Like, why would I do that? Like,
Yeah.
like why would I want to use me getting shot
Yeah.
as a way to like, you know what I'm saying? That's like something that soft rappers do.
Yeah.
But she's not even that. So it's crazy, man. So yeah, he got charged with assault. I think it was second degree. And we got to see how this thing
That's
plays
it?
out. Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
It's something crazy because I
I do know it's weird. Like
he
something
was
just seems
shooting at the
weird.
ground is what the reports are saying. Like he was shooting at the ground, and I think they just like skidded off of her and like and hit her foot.
I know it hit her foot. It
Oh,
lodged
did
in
it?
her foot.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, it lodged in her foot. Okay, yeah,
it
she got
lodged
to
in her
get
foot.
surgery, right?
Yeah, she had to get surgery. She had to get the bullets out.
Right. So it's crazy. Shot her twice in the foot.
I don't know if
Yeah,
he thought
Tory's
this was
wild.
I don't know if he thought it was Harlem Nights and he was quick.
Yeah,
Pow,
dance.
shot her in the pinky toe. I don't know.
He said the report says that her report. She said that he was telling her dance. So there was clearly a lot of alcohol involved in this whole thing, and not that anything is any excuse, but there's clearly a lot going on.
Yeah.
So hey,
And it's weird because who was it? Kylie was with her, or
they were leaving her house.
But yeah, like
Kylie Jenner.
I haven't heard a statement from her.
Nothing. She
Nothing. It's
mess.
weird. It's
She
weird.
don't want to be in this mess. Trust me.
It's weird though.
I guess, but she wasn't involved in.
I thought she was in the car with them.
No, she wasn't in the car.
Oh.
There was another friend, but she was involved as far as like the reason why this whole thing may have started. because I guess Tory was trying too hard to get with her, and he was supposed to be with Meg.
Meg said that. Meg said that wasn't the case, but I don't know.
Yo, but I know she said it wasn't the case, but that's what it seems like could be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else is this motherfucker just mad about that he shot you in your feet?
I don't know.
He must have called her short. She must have called him short. And she like 5'10" and he's like 5'3".
She's big. She's a big woman, man.
She's tall as hell.
Thick and big.
Straight up stallion. So we support you, Meg, Tory. Listen, I don't want nobody to go to prison, but hey, dog, you got to make better choices.
Man, he should have been made better choices. Like he hasn't been getting in trouble for the last couple of years.
Yeah, my man
That's my thing, man. Like people keep on making the same dumb choices over and over. Like when is enough, man? When is enough?
Yo, he was on a meteoric rise at the beginning of this year, like the hottest.
Yeah, man.
He was doing quarantine radio.
Yeah.
Tape drop. We was all vibing to it. Everything was good, right? Boom. Fast forward, shoots the most popular woman in rap music.
She's
maybe entertainment period right now.
It's not first, definitely a good second.
You know what I'm saying? At least for her, this 15 minutes of fame, Meg is the hottest thing in the game. Yeah. And he shoot her. You got black women mad at you, white women mad at you, all women mad at you, man. Except the only women that aren't mad at him or that I see riding for him are women who like toxic relationships and think that if a motherfucker shoots you, that he loves you more. Like, yo.
The sad part is that's a real thing, man.
You know, it's like, oh,
that's
he hits
a real
me because
thing.
I shouldn't have been so bad. Like, he makes fun of me.
People might get married. You shot me in the foot. We got to get married. Like
there's toxic women and toxic men out there.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. They're really out there, don't know.
They're really out there.
Self-worth, man. They got to know their self-worth.
For real. Yo, so let's move on to politics a little bit. And let's talk about the fly seen around the world that blew up the internet. So the vice presidential debates last week between Kamala Harris, the hopefully incumbent vice president, with the current vice president Mike Pence, who is actually human garbage, and it showed when they had a fly sitting on his head without him even noticing. He rode the wave really
like 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes without flying away, just sitting on him like the human piece of garbage that he
is. It was like right on cue. Like he started talking about what, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, or sorry, like police brutality.
Yeah,
it was like bullshit. It was like bullshit. Right on him.
And it just stayed there.
Yeah, just chill. Yeah, because it's all bullshit. That's it. That is what will happen. So that happened. Kamala made like 1,000 faces. Nothing was really accomplished, just like the presidential debate. And
that was terrible.
So then also in the same week, last week was a heavy week. We had Trump testing positive for COVID.
Mr. I don't believe in COVID.
He don't believe it until he got it, and then he said, "Don't let it dominate your life." Even though the 200,000
and he broke protocol.
Left the radio, left the hospital, stumbled up the steps, and could barely breathe.
Yo. And he broke protocol, and guess what?
He was breathing like how I was breathing in Denver.
I think it was over the weekend, 33 of his staff tested positive for COVID as well.
The whole White House has got COVID now.
I think it's a game, man. Yeah. I want to know, to all the people that support us, COVID, BS this, American flag, like what do they say to this now, man? Like now what? Like what?
Now what? So in light of that, don't worry, this is all going to spin to the same thing. All these events, in my opinion, kind of circumvented each other. They like carried along. So he tests positive, and then as a result, Biden wants to get tested, but what do we have coming? There's a second debate. Biden is like, nah, let's do a virtual debate. Trump's like, nah, you gonna cheat. How do you cheat in the debate? I'm like, word, okay. So then Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House for the Democrats, she goes and says, oh, we're gonna exercise one of those antiquated amendments coming back to bite his ass, that they're gonna test to see if he's fit enough to be the president. Probably won't go through, but whatever. So then what does Trump do?
My boy Jack Bauer.
Yeah, so what does Trump do to fire back? He completely stops COVID relief talks until after the election. Arguably the dumbest shit that he could do. because that shit literally would probably sway an election for him right now. If he was to just like last week in October, throw motherfuckers 1,200, and then you're like, you know what? I'm fucking with Trump.
Yeah,
Holidays
no,
is coming.
that's why he listen. At the end of the day,
Something that simple could swing it.
Some of his campaign people are smart, man. I can't even lie, man. They have some good strategies.
Yo, I saw the craziest
strategies.
campaign by Trump today. So he was doing this thing talking about how he's got the best plan for COVID and blah, blah. It's like one of those, Donald Trump has done the best over COVID. We have the best doctors, the best everything. And then Dr. Fauci comes on, like a cut of him. You could tell they cut this and edited it very well.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just can't see how he could do anymore. And then it cuts out. I was like, motherfucker, you know he did not say that.
You just hated on Fauci.
Yo, all he does is hate on Fauci. I was like, there's no way that he said that about you. So I went back and looked at the clip, and it was talking about Cuomo. This is a clip from like way back in like March when he or not March, in like April when New York City was really going through it, but he shut everything down, and then things started to calm down for them a little bit, even after they really picked up. But he was like, I don't see how he could do anymore. Like Governor Cuomo's doing like everything he can do. Yeah. And I was like, wow, he really cut that.
Yeah, wow.
Like, this guy
the campaign people are good, man. He talks about he's giving everybody a tax break, and if they elect him, because he can't just give
everybody
people,
he knows.
He can't just give a tax break. He has to go through, there's protocol you gotta go through.
Yeah,
but he's telling everybody, if you elect me, I'm gonna make sure it gets done. The campaign team they're pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, dude. It's it's truly crazy. So we got to see what that happens. We got to see what happens to that. Again, y'all go out and vote, man. Very important. Let's move on to sports. Out to the Los Angeles Lakers for a 17th NBA championship. Kobe Bryant.
Special one, man. It's a special one, man.
Special one. Shout out to Kobe. Rest in peace to him as well. 2020 has been a motherfucker in that sense. Yeah, shout out to Kobe. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to,
man.
AD. Shout out to the whole Lakers team. Shout out to Rob Pelinka, who took a lot of heat early on in his job, but the Lakers GM put it together. He put it together a good team. Even filled those spots like Avery Bradley and some guys that didn't come to the bubble with them. Yeah. The Lakers pull out the title in 6 games against the Miami Heat, who functioned as a really good opponent.
They should have blew. They should have swept
a 5 seed that took them 6 games.
Terrible.
Subsequently winning 2 games to 4.
Terrible. You should have swept these dudes, man. Playing on my daggone game.
They should have, but they did it. Shout out to the Seattle Storm, who won the WNBA.
My girl Sue Bird.
Sue Bird, my homegirl. UConn Huskies.
She's one of my favorite. She's one of my favorite ones, man.
He's one of my favorite basketball players, male or female. Period. You should have seen the pass she threw in their closeout game. The closeout game, she threw like a 40-foot, like it was like from 3/4 court, no look, straight to him. Girl caught it in stride, 1-step layup. Wow. It was crazy. She literally looked her off from talking like 3/4 court.
I think she's my first favorite Husky. She was my first favorite Husky that I fell in love with.
Mine is Rebecca Lobo, but Sue Bird and
I said Husky. Rebecca Lobo is my favorite.
Rebecca Lobo was a UConn Husky.
She did go to yes, that's right. Yeah, she could have gone. They didn't have the WNBA.
Yeah, they didn't have
so she could have. She's probably the nastiest one.
When her Olympic team came back. And after they destroyed everybody.
Rebecca Lobo, listen, you know where she's from, right?
Where?
She's from New Fairfield.
No way.
Yes way. Go to New Fairfield.
Is she really right around the corner?
Yes, right around the corner, man.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Nasty.
Yeah,
best athlete.
Shout out to them. The Seattle Storm went through the whole wobble undefeated. Did not lose 1 game through the entire postseason. Shout out to them. Speaking of postseason, the Major League Baseball playoffs are on and popping. I got a game on right now. The Dodgers are getting smoked by the Atlanta Braves.
Stop, man. I don't stop, man.
The Dodgers are like the worst.
I don't want to talk about – listen, I've been reserving myself from talking about – because the Braves, that's my team. I haven't said nothing.
Okay. All right, we'll back up.
Because every time I get hyped on them, we lose. Yeah, but so I'm keeping shut.
I'm keeping by a lot right now.
I'm keeping shut, and it is what I'm letting things go, man. I'm keeping shut.
There, but also we have the Tampa Bay Rays and the Houston Astros. You know, the Astros are in the
They,
ALC.
they,
They're
they,
coming off that cheating
yeah,
scandal.
they coming with some heat. They got something
They,
for people.
that's
They
what I'm
got some
saying.
chips on their shoulder.
Interesting storylines we got here. So let's see
Yeah,
how this all goes. I'm very excited to see that. And yo, the NFL, man, like tonight we got the Titans and Bills playing on a Tuesday night because the
that's
Titans had
crazy.
23 players and coaches test positive for COVID. So the NFL is kind
23.
of navigating this thing.
They got to figure it out because teams are
Yeah,
testing positive left and right, man.
yeah.
You can't have a
Coaches and players.
season, and that's the thing. It's like you're going to this state, that person, that
Yeah,
person.
so even if you're going to like the airports
Oh
or
man,
private airports, yo, there's mad people that you're gonna have to come in contact with. You gotta get on buses.
yeah,
Somebody's gotta
man,
drive those
yeah.
buses. You're just coming in contact with too many people.
That's why
And
I
the
just think
NBA did it right. They showed y'all the blueprint. You gotta
yeah,
continue.
get a bubble, get a
Bubble.
bubble, and you can't leave. That's what
That's
it
it.
is.
Yeah, like
Can't
you can't
leave.
say that all these football guys can't say like, oh, we can't go one place and play somewhere. Yo, you just built a freaking $5 billion stadium in LA.
And like,
And it's got the
yo,
best weather. So why not go? There's mad hotels out there. You could spread them out throughout the whole county.
They finished that bubble in like 3 months, man.
Yo,
Do
exactly. It
you
was
see how
100.
big it is?
Yeah, I think it was 100 and something days they were down there. Not one positive test. Only a few guys came in late
Came
because
with it.
they tested positive when they got
I
there.
think 1 or 2 in the beginning, but that was it.
Yeah, it was like Lou Williams and it's like somebody.
Mike Conley Jr.
Well, Mike Conley, Russ Westbrook. Yeah, but those dudes left and came back. Well, Mike Conley left and came back because his son was born.
Yeah, Mike Conley, man. They had Mike Conley in a quarantine like a sick patient.
Locked in his room, bro.
He was like, "Let me out, let me out."
Crazy, like chilling by the door and stuff. So
yeah, they had a quarantine area. So
yeah, yo, it's nuts, man. So yeah, let's move on to the fun part of this conversation. We was talking about video games before. Yo, did you see this Oculus Quest 2 thing? Facebook's bought this company and they're going into virtual reality gaming now.
Really?
Yeah, man. So look that up. It's like Oculus, OCULUS, and it's called the Quest 2. So it's like a freaking, you put on a whole goggle situation, and
they already do
like,
that. They already have that though.
Yeah, but this is like their take on like being in the game, bro. Like you're in it. Okay. You're in it. Yeah, so that's I've seen a couple demos for it because I saw a commercial and I was like, oh, Facebook makes this. Let me check it out. And yeah, it's legit. It looks legit, but still. Will it be able to compete? Because I think their competition is to go for the juggernauts. Like Sony was dropping the PS5 and Microsoft was dropping the Xbox Series X this fall. They're gonna go toe to toe in a pandemic holiday season. That's gonna be interesting to see, right? Do you think this is a smart idea?
Yes, because people staying home.
Yeah, but ain't nobody got no money.
People staying home, they're gonna make it happen, Pop.
You think, but that's what, so the price points is what I want to talk to you about. Like you have a family and stuff like that. Like the price points, like I think the PS5 is gonna go for like there's one model that's like 400. I think it's like 499, like 500. Yeah, and the other one is like 300.
399, something like that. Yeah. Listen, anything's better than when they came with the PS3 talking about $800, Pop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Ludicrous, and people buying it.
And I've seen the trailer for the 2K.
Yeah.
You see it like with Steph and like Luca and all that.
Yeah,
like,
that was a trailer. I thought that was
a trailer. That was like
real life.
That was like in game. It was. You see the little thing on it. It says this is actual game footage.
Yeah.
So like that's what it looked like.
What
I
else?
Didn't do TV.
How else?
I can't play it on this TV.
How else can they make this game even realer? I just don't know what else.
It's already so good, 2K, right? It's already so good, yo. Crazy, man.
Already.
Oh yeah, let's keep an eye on that for the showdown of the Microsoft and Sony for the holiday season, pandemic holiday season. We'll see how that goes. What to watch?
Hold on, wait. You got to go back to politics and world news.
What was? Oh, yes, that's right. We were talking about that. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't write them down. That's right. You gave me 2 stories, but hold on. There's one more story that I left out too, and I forgot that I highlighted this. And this is back to politics and news. George Floyd, his killer was let out on a $1 million bond. The officer, what's his name, Chauvin?
Yep, $250,000 bond.
$1 million bail, posted it, and was allowed to leave the state, citing that correctional officers at his prison thought that he would be he would be safer if he left the state. So he's allowed to live in any of the surrounding states of Minnesota.
Wow.
That
So
is North Dakota,
they're
South
allowing
Dakota,
him to
Iowa,
leave.
and Wisconsin. Anywhere on those places he can live.
You
So
should.
this guy,
You should.
until his trial next March.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh man,
Letting people get special privilege now, huh?
yeah, this is just the same
But
as if.
but Blue Lives Matter. If Blue Lives Matter, then shoot. Then why are they getting benefits still? Why are they still getting?
Yeah.
No, he can't leave. Just like anybody else couldn't leave.
Let's talk about the shameful nature of these people that obviously raise the money, because on a cop's salary, you don't have $1 million sitting around. So the people raise this money. And I'm sure they were just civilians. It wasn't all family members that just get band together. I heard his wife wants to divorce him. So the band together.
Racist and implicit bias or biased people.
Yeah. And
Prejudiced
they bring this money to bail out this guy who clearly murdered and killed somebody.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, let me go back to that story that you was talking about. Oh yeah, matter of fact, you bring that up because
we talk about I don't know if they nominated her yet, but it makes me so mad because 18 months before Obama was, never mind the president name.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, there was a president that had 18 months before a term ended, and the Senate, who was Republican, would not allow him to pick another Supreme Court justice.
Supreme Court justice, yeah.
18 months. And people are on record saying it's bad, this and that, et cetera.
And they're trying to squeeze this thing through, and like
they're not trying to. They're squeezing it in. And it's you just said it, what, 21 days?
Yeah,
21 days before the next thing, and now they're allowed. It just makes me mad. Now they're gonna pick.
And their excuse is what? What is Trump's excuse? Like, oh well, we won the presidency. Mitch McConnell, the fucking turd he is.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you people in Kentucky are despicable. Well, how do you keep letting this guy stay in? He's been in office for 100 years.
Like, why are you guys so like? Why are they so racist, man?
Kentucky has some of the lowest.
Oh my gosh,
employment rates, some of the lowest wages. So your life is not good, and it's because of dudes like him and legislation that he takes, because he's taking money from anybody who makes money in Kentucky to make sure that y'all don't make money in Kentucky, and you still vote this dude in because he's racist and you racist. And you like how he sounds racist.
So now they're picking another Supreme Court justice who's a Republican.
Yep.
So now it's going to be like 6 to what? 4 or something like that?
6 to 4, I think.
So Republicans 6, Dems 4. I don't care about the Dems, this and the third, but at the end of the day, you're picking someone that's going to be against a certain nobody.
It's a lifetime appointment.
Yeah, it has to be. I'm tired of the sides, man. Like, I'm tired of the sides.
Why don't we, the American people, get to pick a judge? Why don't we get to nominate somebody who's going to control all these major decisions? All the major decisions that are going to be made in this country for the next, I don't know how old Amy Coney Barrett is. She's probably in her
she got like 40s. Another, at least 40, 50 years.
Yeah, she's going to be there for 40, 50 years.
What you call that passed away was there? She was what?
She's
like 86 or something like that?
She's been there for literally like 35 years, and she joined late. She was late in life, Jordan.
This one right here is, she got like another 40 years in her.
Well, yeah, right? She's like in her early, mid-40s or something like that.
Something like that, man.
He's very
50s
young.
maybe, but.
Yeah, very young.
Yeah.
Going to be there for a long time. So we're talking 30, 40 years.
So they're pushing this through within 21.
We don't get to decide that?
Yo, but they're pushing this through within 21 days. Yo, you just said a president had 18 months left, could not pick somebody because their term was almost done. But this dude's term is done in 2
Republican House at that time.
Yes, exactly. And there's another Republican, and it's another Republican. It's now a Republican Senate.
Yeah.
And now they're going to, elect, like, yo, that right there. That's our country, and I hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it. It's
wrong.
The
divide of political parties has become wider than.
You wonder why it's a black-white war. It's a Republican-Dem war as well. Like, it's just.
I don't see a lot of Republicans. Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Black people want to, again, back to what I was saying before. Black people want to hear you talking about what you're going to do for them. And Democrats will fucking totally pander to that narrative all the time.
They be lying.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You got to vote and you got to get people in to make sure that they're working for you. Right?
Yeah,
Republicans just don't even say anything at all. Like, they just don't even ever address. Like, Mike Pence cringed at the fact that he had to address anything about black people or systemic racism and all these things that we all know exist. he couldn't even say it. And Trump literally wouldn't even denounce.
He wouldn't denounce it.
He scrambled in his brain, like it literally like turned his head upside down.
But the people that support him were saying he did say it. And I'm like, when? And which calls that he said,
Stand
sure.
down,
No,
back.
his sure was to ask the question. Go ahead. Sure, ask the question.
Yeah.
And he did not answer it.
Never answered it. He said, "The Proud Boys, stand down and stand back." Everybody heard that shit. That's what I'm saying. When they be trying to tell me that
that's not racist, right?
They blame it on the
how
media.
can you get mad for us saying that somebody's racist?
Yeah, they blame it on the media. It's not the media. I am the media. So I'm sitting here telling you, like, I'm seeing, it's like the media member would. I'm looking at what I'm seeing this dude say. I'm paying attention to what he's saying.
Listen to the context of when he say. So I will say the media does portray him. Some of the media portray him to be bad. Some of the media
absolutely
might not say when he says because he has said I denounce KKK whatever. Yeah. He has in the past. But guess what? If you listen to the conversation and the context of when he was saying it, it doesn't align.
It doesn't align.
It does not align. The context of the speech or conversation he had does not align when he said he denounced KKK.
Exactly.
You guys need to listen to the whole thing and not just cuts.
Yeah, that's
like it's crazy. So yeah, man. So there it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts me and it really upsets me because that's how as an African American male in this country, it's how things play for us. There's nothing we can do. You tell a black president, a minority president, he can't vote 18 months. But you allow a Caucasian president, the Senate does, because I can't even put it all on Trump.
It's not
the Senate.
They're the ones pushing it.
The Senate is pushing.
Mitch McConnell knows that this is his opportunity to have a huge lead as far as the Supreme Court, and before he dies, he can push through all his poisonous legislation.
And all it is for
further
greed.
cripple the people of Kentucky and us, the United States.
And all it is for greed and power, man. And
that's it.
It's just sickening because there's nothing we can do, and I think that's the part that boils me up. Because that's how our lives is for the most part as minorities. There's just some things that we can't do nothing about. Yeah, and just imagine being trapped and you can't do nothing. Imagine being it's like being buried alive and you can't do nothing.
Yeah, that's awful, man.
So but that and the last story, which was world news. Which it was in let me look up the I forgot. It was in India. I'm just trying to let me go to the link that I sent. You remember which city in India was that I sent?
I did not see.
So there's so it says that the headline is many Indians don't consider Dalits. Sorry, I'm not the best when it comes to English, so forgive me. Muslims, tribals as humans. Rahul Gandhi. That's his statement. Speaking about, so I guess he is the chief. He's the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Basically, there was a woman about 19 years old that was raped, and eventually died. And it was multiple men that raped her, and it came out that and this is big news. Like there was protesting and everything going on in here. I'm trying to see if I could see what city it was in.
But I don't have it in front of me.
But the girl was young woman was gang raped and went to the hospital, and when she died, the medical examiner didn't put down that she was raped. Didn't even have evidence of it. And when it came out, it was because this particular city don't consider what she practiced basically a human being. That's how I read it. So Muslims and all the other ones, beliefs that I named in that part of India, they don't consider them really like humans. Their beliefs
it's not a crime on her because she's not even a person.
Yeah, because of her beliefs. And so because of that, they didn't even put down on the medical the medical examiner didn't put down that she was raped. There was no evidence. But meanwhile, she was raped. How wrong is that? You get a medical report from the medical examiner and it doesn't have it up there that she was raped because she's not seen as a human being because of her beliefs. Then on top of that, they burned her body, and the family eventually didn't want that to happen, but it was too late. Where they already burned the body. And so it was just a big uproar in India. There was protests. It was just crazy, but just imagine that, man. Where
Dude, I can't imagine that. I mean, that's like, see, now when you hear stories like that, you know, it makes our like the stuff we're screaming about here in the U.S.
and it was
and
the
all our
police. It
problems.
wasn't just him. It was also the police.
Yeah, it makes all of our problems seem like minuscule and small, you know, and like it makes you a little more fortunate. Like at least we are a free enough country that we could sit on this you know this screen right now and talk our shit about what bothers us about this country, and we can you know we are free enough to know that we have our daughters and they're not going to be you know violated, and if they are, you know, you can at least hope for some semblance of justice. That like our justice system isn't that broken.
Yeah.
That, you know, all the things that we talked about today that piss us off and like kind of like the bad things within our society here in the U.S. like that, all those things are so much worse, you
Yeah.
know, like out there, and it really that incidents like that really highlights
Yeah.
how
But let me ask you
you know
something.
bad, but it could be worse. So
Is it worse because our beliefs over here and over there? Because you got to think about it.
those are their belief systems over there. That's
For us, is looks bad. It looks worse. But for them over there, if you think about it in their perspective, it's not that bad because that's how a lot of certain parts of the country believe. So to them, it doesn't look that bad.
true.
So it's like who's right and
Very
who's
true.
wrong? Because now we're saying our beliefs is right over their beliefs. So it just makes you think.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
ultimately, a person's a human being.
There are
So
some things that are morally wrong, right? Like
yeah,
we know in Africa, there's like a tribe that like cuts out a woman's clitoris so that they
yes,
can't enjoy sex. Like,
yeah,
who are you? Like that's like some playing God type stuff. But to their knowledge, like that's their belief.
that's the
Like
belief.
and like the thing is, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes we let our beliefs, like the Republicans do it right now. They use this like God complex to support all the things that they're doing. Like I'm
And they
watching this shit.
and they take it so off
Yeah,
content,
like
man.
Mike
Oh
Pence
my gosh,
uses
man.
God to support like you know and like conversion therapy, and like
Guess who else used God? Hitler, the
yeah, exactly,
KKK,
all of them.
and these are one of the reasons why me as a believer it's so hard, and why I understand where people be like, nah, I can't mess with that, because you have people that were enslavers that were using God as a way to get
Yeah,
people that were enslaved.
that's exactly how it happened. Like that we learned like all them church hymns and songs and stuff like that we sing now. Like we learned all those in the fields singing the past time in slavery, because that's what the white man taught black people. They taught them about their God, their blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus who's
Mhm.
gonna come and save them, as long as they're just a good little black slave and they work for free all day
Yeah.
and they
And they
don't
try to
cause
use
us
scripture to
trouble.
back it up, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly. Like,
You're just
there's a
taking it
show
out
on
of
Showtime.
context.
There's a show on Showtime about John Brown and the
Mhm.
abolitionist era and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and their whole thing. And the last episode was exactly that. They were about to hang this girl because she tried to plot a scheme to escape, like during the abolitionist and stuff like that. And then so they, one of the other slaves sold her out, told them, and she was about to get hanged, and she wouldn't give up nobody else.
Mhm.
So they had the preacher come and like say like, do you understand that like you were gonna hurt people? She was like, I wasn't gonna hurt none but no white people.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't gonna hurt anybody. And then he was like saying, well, yeah, but you were gonna hurt all these good white people by what you did and stuff like that. And God is gonna, and he was literally quoting scriptures and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is the type of stuff that they would do. They would try to use God to justify the evil, terrible things that they did. And you just can't do that.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That's why they try to make all the songs when they were murdering Native Americans from the sea to shining sea. They
Native,
cited
the
God.
indigenous.
Yeah, the indigenous.
Yeah.
They were killing them from here all the way across the entire country.
Mhm.
Even the lands that we don't even America want. Like, do we really? We murdered all them people in South Dakota just so we could put a rock with some fucking slave owners on it and
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore. Like, that's what you did. That's what you want to put there. There ain't shit else out there. A couple Air Force bases and stuff like that. You took those people's land to do that, so you can take
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
it's awful.
It's crazy. Yeah. So real quick, before we go on to the next segment, but
Yeah.
the Congress leader who I said was Rahul Gandhi,
Yeah.
he tweeted, "The shameful truth is many Indians don't consider delights. I'm sorry if I said
Yeah.
it
I just
wrong.
retweeted it.
Muslims and tribals to be human. The CM, which is where the city is, and police say no one was raped because for them and many other Indians, she was no one."
Wow.
That was a tweet.
They said she was no one.
Yeah.
So unless you're somebody like if some
Well, it
prime minister's
depends. No, it
if
depends
it
on
was
who
the
you.
prime minister's daughter or something like that, then it's rape.
It's the belief. Like Muslims, it's your belief. Because a belief, like Muslim, is that's a belief. That's your
But
lifestyle.
they don't believe that women are no one.
No,
Not
but
altogether.
but if you have a belief that's different than the traditional one in that particular city, then you're
Right.
not considered a person. You're considered no one.
That's absolutely insane, man.
That's
That is
crazy.
absolutely insane. Insane. Yeah, so what to watch?
What we got?
Uh Fargo, new season, season 4 on Hulu
It's the first
FX.
time I
On
started
Hulu.
seeing commercials for it, and it looks good.
It's
And
so
Chris
good.
Rock was in there. And then I realized they're like season 4 coming up. I'm like, what? I never saw this
So look,
before. When did it come?
so
When
that's
did
the
it
thing.
come?
So the great thing about that show is that each season is a standalone. So this is a standalone. This takes place in I think 1950. The
Mm-hmm.
last season took place in like 2011 or something like that. The
Mm-hmm.
season before that was in like 1977. Then the season before that was in like 2006, the first season. And they're all, I guess it says based on true events. So at the beginning of every show. So I mean, a lot of these things are like some true stories. But yeah, Chris Rock's in it. It has a lot of build up, but it's a really, really good show. This one takes place and they take place in different places, different characters. Like it's a really, really good show. You should definitely look into it. Got a lot of good cameos, great acting, great performance, and just an overall good watch. There are about 4 episodes in now. So yeah, catch up on that. Get on your Hulu game. It's like $4.99 a month or something crazy like that. And so I'm trying to give you guys some cheap watches here. Just bear with me. All right. All right. So let's end it off with Stay Woke, and we'll be quick about it. But because I don't want to hold everybody too long. So let's talk about the importance of mental health, specifically through these times right now. People, I'm listening. I want you guys to listen. It's very important. All the people listening. This is a crazy time in our life. You got to start saying that shit out loud. Stop trying to act like it's normal. Trump said don't let it dominate your life. Sure, don't let it dominate your life, but don't act like as if it's not there, because it is, and it's real. And we've all at this point 200,000. I'm sure some of us have even met somebody who either had it or died from it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have. So it's very, very real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I want to talk about today is not only just the COVID, but then you seeing the police brutality and all black people getting murdered constantly, or people in general just getting murdered constantly by police on TV as if it's nothing, and you're just seeing your value as a human being just tested every single day and constantly put on display that you ain't nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I also want to talk about just the strain of the quarantines and and things not being open, or maybe financial streams and all that stuff like that. I'm going to try and wrap this all up into a 10-minute bow. Jamel, work with me. So let's talk about some coping skills. For me, this is the way I've done it, and I'll let you share some of the things that your best practices on how you've gotten through these times and kind of navigated this entire thing. Me, I had to identify what was truly important to me. That was the most important thing through this time with all this free time now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't, you can't go anywhere. You're trying to be, responsible and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to highlight what and who was really important to me. I couldn't put my energy just into everybody anymore. I couldn't put all this time into anybody. I gave so much more time to myself. I've discovered a lot of new things and stuff like that. Um, and I made sure that more than anything, I found balance. That is the most important coping skill
Hmm.
that I picked up. Those two right there. Identifying what's important and finding my balance. To briefly tell you what that looks like for me, finding my balance, it's like this. I like to do certain things, when I'm at home or when I'm out or whatever. Like I was working out and stuff like that before COVID. Gym got shut down, so I kept doing stuff at the house to just kind of keep that flow going. Smoke a little weed, something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would love to be out with my friends doing whatever, but hey, you know what? We gotta have to pack it in here and do what we gotta do. I like to drink Hennessy from time to time. I made sure that now I just get some Hennessy or whatever. I like to go out and get a good sandwich every now and then. So what did I do? I made sure that I always have my stuff, put together and everything like that. It's very, very important to find balance, identify what is important to you. Jamel, go ahead.
Well, I guess when COVID hit, man, just my family, myself and my family. Well, God, myself and my family, man. That was really just more of the the concentration. When you're home, what else is there to do? So just just keeping that as a focus, keeping that as a center. God, my relationship with the Lord, my walk, myself, making sure I'm healthy, and my family. Those are some of the big ones. Big things for me. And just make sure I carry it out. So I looked at some of the COVID, as messed up it was like a blessing. Because I looked at it as a positive. I got to be with my family more. So
Slow things down.
yeah, slow things a lot down. A lot of things slow down,
Because you've
man.
been
So
working from home and stuff too?
yeah.
Okay.
So my schedule just kind of open. I just started getting back to some regular things just this week, and my first day or my second day being out back, I didn't get home until like 8:30, and I was rushing back
Yeah.
for us to start. But then I'm doing this now, so
Yeah.
so that was for me. It was something that I appreciated, and I just really, embrace that time spent with my family and myself, and, stuff like that. So just not being not, a lot of negative things happen, but not allowing that negative energy to be in me, just keeping that negative, mindset energy away,
Right.
not being like, oh, this and this, you start having that same energy. Nah, I'm gonna keep on grinding. What can I do to make sure that, things are more positive in our life? So yeah.
Facts, man. That's it, man. So like like I said, I want to tie this whole thing up into a bow, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But what I do want to say, the important message of this Stay Woke is for y'all to understand that it is okay to seek out someone to talk to. There are resources you can almost now. If for people of color, if you want to look for a person of color type of therapist, somebody to talk to, even killed, everything like that, you go obviously holler at my man Jamel. Jamel,
Yeah, that's cool.
he's obviously got some. I'm sure you got some places to refer people. Now,
Yeah.
aren't there more resources even more now that things are digital or virtual and everything like that? You could probably reach out to somebody anywhere in Atlanta, New York,
Yeah. No,
California. Like
because
you know what I'm saying?
well, before there was always online counseling, but
Right.
now it's more normal now for telehealth or telemed,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it,
You don't
to
worry
reach.
about
Yeah,
seeing somebody at dinner or whatever that you may have told, or you see your therapist. You can
yeah,
talk to somebody anywhere,
yeah. I do.
and
I do.
just
I still do Zoom sessions. So
yeah, make
um,
sure that you're keeping your mental health strong, keeping a positive mental attitude. This is not forever. Wear a mask. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if if you're out in the mix. Wear a mask, yo. We have them if you need them. Control chaos. We have them, black and
mhm,
white. Got the logo on. Rep for the squad.
mhm.
But that's beside the point. Wear it because it doesn't. It's not just about you and whether or not you get it. It protects Everybody around you, everybody in your life, you see this fool Trump, don't ever wear a mask. And as a result, the entire administration, the entire freaking White House got COVID because of this guy. And they're always around him. And ain't nobody going to talk down to him because nobody ever does. But,
and that's why he keeps those people around him, the yes people.
Yeah, the yes people. But nobody wants those type
Terrible.
People. And not somebody who's truly like, wants to be held accountable and stuff like that.
And good thing he got that good insurance and them good doctors, because who knows if he was in New York and he was in the Bronx or something, if he had that same treatment and would have made it out.
Yeah, you want to hear the irony of the medicine he took, the Regeneron?
What's that?
Regeneron, that's the experimental medicine that he said he took. So it's called Regeneron. Guess what Regeneron is derived from? Stem cells of aborted babies, abortions who are, basically they are against it. Like Republicans, their whole shit, they're all pro-life. So he's literally being kept alive.
Something that he's against.
Being kept alive by something that he's trying to stop, actively trying to stop.
Wow,
you know what I mean? And that's not to say that. That's not to say that like nobody wants to see abortions. Nobody wants that stuff to happen. The mothers that have abortions don't want them to happen. But the fact is that until scumbags like Trump and other people don't stop raping people and things like that, when we stop toxic men, then we can stop abortions because the women will stop getting pregnant, and have illegitimate children from evil human beings. It's crazy. So, yeah, man, that's all I got for today. Make sure you keep your mentals right, in the words of Marshawn Lynch. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. We're going to be posting this YouTube, obviously. So subscribe to that and tell your friends to do too. And yeah, man, y'all just make sure you get out there and vote. That's the most important thing. Jamel, you got anything? Or we just going to take it out and pray for me?
Going to take it out.
Take it out. Pray for me.
Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this night. Whenever you listen to this, Father God, just be with us, keep us safe. Help us, Father God, as we ask for your help and ask for your love. We ask you just draw the love that's in us out and let us love more like you, Father God, like your son Jesus, Father God. Our country, our nation, our world kind of has a dark cloud over it, but just help us remain positive and be positive, Father God, and only see the light because you are the light, Father God, and understand that when you're the light, you're the tunnel, and you're the only way, Father God. So thank you so much. Be with us. Keep those safe. Please be with those that may have COVID or any other, struggles with health, Father God. Thank you. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for praying for me, Jamel. As we know, I always do need it. Y'all, that is the Control Chaos Show, virtual time, episode 3, I believe it is. We are going to be back with more and more for you as this election race keeps heating up. I'm coming for you. I'm at your neck. I'm getting y'all to vote. Hit me up in my DM if you need a ride or something. Let me know what you need. I'm here to serve. So is Jamel. Whenever he's got the time, anything y'all got, let me know. You know I'm working in the community. I know Jamel's working in the community. You know we're active all the time. We be out here. We trying to make our community different, make it better. What are you doing? Ask yourself that question. Until then, see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.